Another Nintendo Switch game looks like Game of the Year material, which is so sweet. Plus, we've got a different recently released Nintendo Switch game that's suffering a terrible fate, and I've got updated details on why Tears of the Kingdom isn't really part of The Legend of Zelda. Yay! So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Excuse the background, it's shifted and moved because they upgraded my internet today, and I didn't know they needed to get back here, and I had no clear path to get back here. Thank goodness you can't see below my waist because the floor is messy. Yes, I have pants on. It's not a joke about that. It's about the floor being messy. I have Star Wars cards and stacks all over. So I had to clear the space, move the shelves. It'll be back to normal tomorrow, but I thought this was fun for something just messy and different. Speaking of messy and different, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you guys are excited for this video. Hit that like button if you enjoy. And The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is bringing some delicious new icons to Nintendo Switch. It's a messy way to start, but I had to because I think these are really fun. And while typically the icons look very much one note and of the same art style, here with Link's Awakening, as long as you play the game on Nintendo Switch Online, boom, you have access to these icons, and they're totally different looking, totally weird looking, and remind me of the Legend of Zelda cartoon. Not the same art style, but close enough. Speaking of art styles, Mario and Luigi Brothership is taking things to a whole new level. They dropped a brand new trailer and updated the website over in Japan with tons of screenshots, details, videos, and more, and that is what happens when you let developers go wild. Boom! Nintendo is doing it so many times lately. These last years of Switch have been so lucrative for people who like creativity. It's been amazing and wonderful to see Nintendo use their money to say, hey, make a game that plays the way that you want it to play. Instead of doing the tried and true, let's make a Mario Bros. Wonder where things go wonky. Let's make a Legend of Zelda where Zelda's the playable character and she can summon other enemies. Let's make a Mario and Luigi game, even though Alpha Dream is defunct, and let's make all the environments look like 3DS, DS, GBA type game environments, but zhuzhed up for a big home console, and then let's give them a new art style that looks like its own super sweet and fun Saturday morning cartoon. I think the lands, the islands, the vacation-y theme of this game is phenomenal. I love the way it's looking visually. I think it's super arresting and super engaging. I'm a little worried about the enemy design, like the plug people. Everybody's kind of like electric or something. I hope that works out okay, but I do know last time Mario went on a vacation, things got really messy. That's where all of this mess talk ties in together. There's themes for these episodes. You gotta just pick them out when I drop them. So Mario and Luigi Brothership is shaping up to be another stellar title. They're going to go from Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom in September to Super Mario Party Jamboree in October and Mario and Luigi Brothership in November. I think this one is hot. And I think there's this weird world where I enjoy Echoes of Wisdom just as much as Tears of the Kingdom, and I enjoy Brothership just as much as Thousand Year Door. Even though those games are regaled as humongous, amazing classics, I think these two new titles are treading new ground in familiar franchises and going to bring us something truly creative and epic. And letting Nintendo kind of run wild towards the end of this generation has been so freaking fun to see. Let me know what you think of Mario and Luigi Brothership now that we have updated new content and videos. I think it looks freaking fantastic, and I just hope that there's a really nice XP system and they allow you to level up the characters maybe with some of our own choice instead of just boom, Mario goes from 4 attack to 5 attack and you ain't got no say about it. Speaking of no say, Meo doesn't have much to say on the sales charts. I think this was kind of expected, but here's your reason why Nintendo felt like it was okay to have a double direct the same week as they launched a first-party game. Meo Sales have been revealed in the UK, and the game charted 22nd. Now, to put this in perspective, this is below Mad Max. Mad Max is repopular again, I guess because of Furiosa, but this game came out ages ago. Meo the Smiling Man is below The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Meo the Smiling Man is below WWE 2K24. And Meo the Smiling Man is well below plenty of other Nintendo Switch titles like Mario Bros. Wonder, AC New Horizons, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And this is the opening week. This is when it should be doing really well. And it's okay. It should just make you instead appreciate that Nintendo is willing to make such a niche title, and even though they tried clever marketing, it didn't really pan out to yield many sales. I hope this game maybe can be a bit evergreen, even though visual novels and games of this sort aren't my personal favorite, there's definitely a place for them, and I hope that Nintendo is long-term rewarded for taking a risk and putting out something super unique, and even if it's super niche, like, that's okay. So maybe this game can sell well as like a cult favorite over time, but it's starting off super, super low. Maybe one of the lowest I've ever seen for a Nintendo Switch first-party release. Maybe it will be the lowest. This could be the game on Nintendo Switch, like a boxed product available on store shelves that sells the least. Hey, at least it's not Concord, because that suffered a fate even far worse. But you gotta tell me if this is worse, okay? Everyone's always trying to figure out the Legend of Zelda timeline, where these games fit into each other. It's a puzzle that can never quite be completed, but it is such an interesting and exciting task to tackle. Thought we had kind of a good idea with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, but they are no longer part of the main timeline. Nintendo put up this new poster over at Nintendo Live in Australia. Now, Nintendo Live is one of those things where you can go play a bunch of games. Think of it like a PAX type thing, but just for Nintendo, and more of a focus on older games than brand new titles. Anyways, it's taking place right now, and they've got this Legend of Zelda history visual aid up, and Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are just like separate. It's very bizarre because the timeline has been crafted so nicely by Nintendo, but these games are apparently excluded, even though they have characters and concepts and locations and things that reference other games and other parts of the franchise and series. And it seems like it would make perfect sense to place these on the timeline. Nintendo is now officially stating from their own lips, their own visual aid that they made, printed, and posted at their own event, that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are just kind of their own fluttering dream. Whatever goes on in these games apparently has no impact on anything else and doesn't fit in with anything else, which I find incredibly bizarre. I mean, I don't think it takes away from the games. We've already experienced them. They're fantastic. They're worth experiencing over and over again as the years go on. But knowing that they're separate and excluded is so bizarre to me. Is it because they're giant open worlds? Is it because Nintendo is retconning how things work out? Is it because Nintendo is planning a separate timeline that just includes these and they don't want the baggage of yesteryear? Is this like a Star Wars Legends thing where everything is going to become legend except for BOTW and TOTK? Or rather, are BOTW and TOTK going to become the legends of their own? What is going on? And where does Echoes of Wisdom fit in? I want you to sound off on this because I feel like there's some people that have a super strong opinion. I'm not the hugest lore buff, but I do find it really weird that Nintendo is calling this out. Like, they're making it very explicit and clear, like, these games are not like the other. They're not gameplay-wise. They don't have dungeons. Maybe that's what it is. You need a dungeon to be in the main timeline. What Zelda timeline? What real, true, on the timeline, not some multiverse external stuff, would have no dungeons? I think if there's any culprit for why these games are not part, it's the lack of dungeons. Blame it on the dungeons, but don't blame it on Echoes of Wisdom, because that game looks super sick. Mario and Luigi Brothership looks phenomenal. That's going to be two amazing games, and I really think Mario Party Jamboree is going to be my jam. So I'm looking at a trifecta of awesomeness, and oh, by the way, it's already fall. It's already September. Echoes of Wisdom is out in 3 weeks. Wow, does time fly, and so did this video. So thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. And until next time, love you lots. SwitchForce out.